Alright guys, so most of us, if not everyone, has finished season 2 of Stranger Things by now. And if not, it's time to climb out from under that rock you're under and do so. It is just a brilliant, phenomenal series. You have to see it. But first, before we begin, I need to slap on a spoiler warning. Now, full disclosure, I was originally going to review season 2 just as I did of season 1, but then I started seeing so much hate for one particular episode, episode 7, The Lost Sister. I mean, look at all this, to the point of calling the episode complete garbage. Now, honestly true, it's not the greatest episode, but calling it a waste of time, pointless, and complete utter garbage, that's a little harsh. So I just had to do a video about episode 7 and break down not only why was this episode good, but more importantly, why this episode was so crucial for season 2 and really for the entire series. But first, we have to start the beginning with episode 1. We start right out of the gate in the middle of a car chase. We see a gang that must have committed some sort of crime, and we are focused on one particular individual, a girl, who we find out has special powers similar to 11. When she makes the police believe that a tunnel they're driving through crumbles, preventing the police to continue chasing after them. And that's it. That's the last time we hear and see from them, and we are left to wonder about this character. That is until episode 7. Now, throughout the series, 11 has been trying to find a place to call home. A place where she can fit in without being looked at or scrutinized, and where she feels safe. 11 really becomes the show's absent heart, especially throughout season 2, and she's left mostly on her own as she searches for a sense of belonging and also fights her inner demons, being memories of her past. Now, this is even more prevalent in this episode, which again is fittingly titled The Lost Sister. 11 soon starts having visions of another test subject who's living on the streets. This is the character that we saw in the first episode. 11 is eager to find out who she is and hopefully find a sense of belonging, someone who she can call family. So 11 sets off to find 8. 8 and her gang take 11 in, and 8 offers her a home, affectionately calling 11's sister. While 8 does have good intentions, the rest of the group only wants to accept 11 into the gang if she can use her powers for their gain. 11 wants to stay and agrees to help 8 and the gang, and 8 starts to train 11 how to control her powers by channeling all of her anger. However, soon the group questions if 11 is cut out for their way of life. 11 insists that she is by saying that she's a fighter and that she's killed before. But 8 tells 11 there's a difference between killing for survival and becoming a killer. 11 anxiously wants to fit in and agrees to lead them to the home of Ray, one of the men who tortured her, her mother, and 8 at the research lab. But ultimately, 11 spares Ray's life when she learns he has kids in the next room. 8 completely objects to 11 showing any kind of mercy to Ray, when 8 goes full Dirty Harry on him, whipping out her gun. 11 uses her powers, blocking and throwing the gun out the window, literally taking the choice of killing out of 8's hands. Now, in a season that engages so much with trauma, this episode is about the power to choose. The rest of the season completely hinges on this and the power that it now gives 11. Earlier we saw 11 was willing to go back into the Upside Down and use her powers because Joyce asked her to. However, she is now faced with the free will she never had before. She is faced where she can either turn around and run away from that responsibility, or instead go forward and get revenge. 11 knows if she uses her powers to purposely kill Ray, then she becomes a murderer, and then she's really no different than him. 11 decides it's more important to help the ones she loves and maintain her morals. 11 takes it upon herself to abandon 8 and the gang and to return and help save Hawkins. Season 2 has been shaping 11's arc around her emotions rather than her powers. In episode 7, we see 8 is training 11 how to consciously dig deep and channel her anger, using it to move a train car. Now, this is important because even though she has pulled off bigger acts in the past, this was always in the heat of the moment, when she was in danger, when it was built on instinct and not consciously. There's a difference between experiencing feelings and learning how to use them. 8 shows 11 the way, how to control and use her feelings rather than having them dominate her, giving 11 the tools she ultimately needs to use and save Hawkins. As we see in the final episode, 11 is screaming out her pain as she closes the gate to the Upside Down, and as she does so, she remembers Dr. Brainerd, the torture and the emotional pain that she experienced. And this is what 8 taught her to do. The emotional turning point for 11 and what ties season 1 and 2 together is when 11 flashes back to her time with Mike and his friends, with Joy and Hopper, and their acceptance of her, taking her in as family. She realizes she always had a family all along and people who accepted her. 11 leaves 8 saying that she can save home. Now this is key because she uses the word home instead of saving them, realizing that they have already saved her and they are her family. And she realizes that she can't fight the shadow creature and the monsters of the Upside Down until she knows that she's not a monster herself. Now this episode is also a key to the storyline as it sets up what's to come in the next couple seasons. By showing 8, it only makes sense there are more test subjects to come, and really it's an introduction to a larger world, which honestly I believe will be explored more in season 3 and 4. My guess is they will be introducing more people with powers, and they will band together along with 11, along with 8, to fight the Flare, to fight the Demogorgons, and destroy the Upside Down once and for all. Now we assume there are 10 more since 11 is the 11th test subject. But could there be more than that? Or even more research labs? How many test subjects are there really out there? How many research labs are there? Of course, we won't know if they'll even dig that deep into this or even answer that question, or if they'll just stay contained in Hawkins. Season 3 has been just greenlit by Netflix. So again, this is just speculation, but I really do believe this is the way they are going to continue the story in season 3 and 4. Why else would they show 8 if they're not going to expand on that world? So yeah, episode 7 may seem to be lacking pace, and it may seem to be a needless, pointless episode to the season, but really it's a very important piece of the puzzle and ties up seasons 1 and 2 very nicely and the continuation into seasons 3 and 4. If you have not seen episode 7 again and you've only seen it once, I urge you to watch episode 7 one more time, and I guarantee you, you will see it in a whole new light and you will appreciate the episode so much more. Well, that's it. That's our video for Stranger Things episode 7 from season 2. Let us know down below in the comments section if you agree with our analysis of this episode and what you really think about this episode. Give us your honest opinion. I would love to see what you guys thought of the episode, and if you agree with our analysis, or maybe if you have a different analysis, a different take of this episode. Again, jump down to the comments section and leave your comments. We'd love to read them and have a discussion about it. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed, do so now for future videos. We're going to be doing an explaining video to the ending of the ice cream truck. If you haven't seen that, it's a doozy of an ending that has confused a lot of people, but I think I have cracked the clues to explain the ending to that video. And our 600 subscriber giveaway is coming. When we reach 600 subscribers, we'll be giving away 4 different prizes to 4 different subscribers. All you need to do to enter is to be a subscriber, leave a comment, like this video, and you're automatically entered to win. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching, and thank you so much for supporting our channel. Simon and I really appreciate it. And as always, we'll see you in the future.